All right, now, so you turned in your nationality card. The Moors, the Muslims was on some other stuff.
Hmm.
So, what did you gravitate towards next? How did you get involved with the Atlantics? And
Well,
what happened prior to that situation?
I got a parole, and after I got parole, I got arrested for murder, and I got found not guilty of the murder. But because I was on parole, they sent me back to prison.
Wait, so this is a third murder?
Right.
Oh, okay, okay.
So because of the I was on parole, they sent me back to prison. Because a lot of people got on the stand and said I was selling drugs, carrying guns, wearing bulletproof vests, living wild. So doing everything as a violation of parole. So they violated my parole. I felt as though like even though I may have had some part in doing it, being found not guilty meant I should have been released, but they didn't release me. And they sent me to Western Wayne. From Western Wayne, it's a long story. I stayed in this guard's life, and they said they used to give you automatic parole and save the guard's life. But
What?
it used to be. They changed it when it got to me. Said, no, we're going to send you to parole camp. We're going to send you to camp. So I was in camp and we was watching Roots. We was doing a rerun of Roots at the time. And we was walking around the yard, and I said, you know what, man? How can you say you would have ran if you was a slave and you ain't running now?
Makes sense.
I said, there's more people watching slaves than watching us right now. They're like, yeah, you're right. I said, man, I can't rightfully say I would have ran as a slave if I was a slave if I ain't running now. So I'm leaving. Who with me? And nobody was with me. So I called this guy and told him to meet where to meet me at, and I escaped. When I got to the car, the guy asked me for gas money. He didn't have gas money, he was crackhead. So we drove all the way from Jackson to Detroit, well, Ann Arbor on E. Best college student gave us gas. Then I eventually got caught on escape and sent back to prison, and they sent me to Jackson Temporary Facility. And I went to a Millennium meeting, and I noticed that everything was in line with what I believe. I thought, wow, it'd be easy for me being Atlantic because it's everything I believe, it's everything I am anyway. It's like I was born a Atlantic or something, right? So I said, no, I got to, I'm going to join. So I went to join. Lil O was the assistant spiritual advisor. Michael Mays was the spiritual advisor. Roscoe Wilkes was the head of security. Him and Bayot, Bayot was his assistant. So after I took the oath and said, Michael Mays gave me the pledge, they made me the paladin, the palace administrator, and the secretary all at once. Like, I would be all this. They said, you ready, you ready. And from there, I became the spiritual advisor. Everywhere else I went, I was the spiritual advisor.
Around what time was the Atlantic started? Around what year or whatnot?
Well, I came back to prison on escape in '86, and it was already strong. So I think it had to be, it wasn't like that when I went home in '84. So it had to be like around '85.
85.
Yeah.
Can you describe the Atlantics at that time? Like, were they militant? Was they ruthless? What was they
Straight
doing?
militant, always militant. And we wear a black hat with the red and green on it because the hat already black, so red, black, green, we were militant. I mean, come on, think about it. When I gave my speech, I started with, in the name called Allah Salah, the Muslim, the Merciful, the creator cause of all the world, the Lord Master did judgment. There's a lot that alone that worship, there's a lot alone that praise. Stepping down and giving honor to our prophet, Nathaniel Turner. Nat Turner, that's our prophet. He rose up in 1831 to proclaim to the world that there is no such thing as a happy slave, and no man, woman, or child was meant to be a slave.
Wow.
And we marched, we exercised. Every prison I went to, they would get rid of me. was on Sunday morning, we had a awareness class. On the awareness class, all Malans, paladins, time to work out. And the commander is, the security commander is in charge of everything, in charge of the workout. So when we shop, we chant, slaves, wake up, slaves, wake up. No more black on black crime. No more black on black crime. Who your brother? You my brother. Who your brother? You my brother. And this chanting and stomping down of our boots, the administration hear that and they come out just like it is intimidating to see a red fez is even more intimidating to see black people screaming no more black on black crime. Mm. So every time I get it going, I'll go to child and next thing I know, one of the correctional officers come up to me and the child say, you want the control center. And I go to control center and they say, oh, you're not going back. We pack your stuff. You go to Chippewa, you go to Hiawatha. I've been in Chippewa, Hiawatha, St. Louis, Jackson Temporary. They moved me all around because everywhere I went, they made me a spiritual advisor. And I demanded it be run right.
Was Chippewa BS back then too? Was it bad? As far as like how the correctional officers treated you?
Yeah, it's always been bad because we got bad blood. I don't know how it is now. There's always bad blood between the inmates and the officers, and we would take turns throwing things to one another. Like, there's an officer named Justice that couldn't nobody stand in 8 block. Somebody caught him walking out on base. That's why they got the plastic mop rings and stuff now. They had metal then, steel mop rings. Somebody took that mop ring from 4th Gallery and threw it down on Justice's head on base, and the man lived. And came back to work. And was still, that still was mean. Yeah.
Dang, he changed. He was on that. So, around that time you joined the Melodics. Matter of fact, before I even get into that, have you ever heard of G4 Deal around that time? You never heard of G4 Deal? Now, who was some of the most, renowned Melodics at that time? Like, that was known.
Don McCullough.
Did y'all have an X back then too? Then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don McCullough. Frank Usher, he became R.D. He was a Melodic. He was one of the founding fathers. Skip Murder. I don't know Skip Murder's real name, believe it or not. But Skip Murder was very well known and popular. Lil O, Walter O could speak. Lil O, he was supposed to be here tonight, He was supposed to be Ahde X, Carlos Williams, let's see, Roscoe Wiltz, Michael Mays, BeyFoe. These are some heavy brothers. David Ford. David Ford was the that spiritual advisor. He was the head spiritual advisor. I think some more. Morris Martin X. He used to be a mob. Martin X. He's Martin. This is long list.
Now I know this probably a name you heard of. I don't know, but Rural Kincaid or something like that.
That's
Benji.
my man. Benji.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my man. Now, when they passed Proposition B, they took away the good time. So they knew then that guys gonna be staying in prison longer. So they wanted to make room for older offenders in Jackson. So those of us that was under the age of 25 got transferred to the Michigan Reformatory. But before we got transferred, Benji had already been transferred from Michigan Reformatory to Jackson because they couldn't handle me. So when Benji was on the bus with me now. We was already tight in Jackson. We on the bus kicking it. We on the way back to Michigan Reformatory. We get to Michigan Reformatory, they refused to take Benji. No, Benji Kincaid cannot come up in here. Back to Jackson, that's why we sent him there. So he went back to Jackson.
Wait, damn, so he was really there. I read a little story about him because people was asking about him. I'm like, damn, he was that bad?
The best story I tell you about Benji Kincaid, he got a brother named Timothy Kincaid. And at that time he was running with Ugly Norman, Ted Rabbit Pool, and Quincy Robinson. So he called Quincy Robinson and told Quincy Robinson, hey, I hear my little brother running with y'all. Do not get my little brother caught up. Do not get my little brother caught up. So we got caught up. Rabbit got a bunch of life sentences. Ugly Norman got a bunch of life sentences. Quincy Robinson got, I think, 5 or 6 life sentences. And Benji's little brother Tim got some life sentences. So they brought, that's like real big on the yard word coming. This guy got this 5 natural lives. Young, ain't even 21 yet, coming on the yard. Everybody go want to see who is this guy. So he come on the yard and he was talking to Chester Campbell. I don't know if you guys remember Chester Campbell. He was one of the most notorious hitmen in the history of the United States, white or black. The white mafia used him, his brother. Do the research on Chester Campbell. You're gonna be surprised. That is a heavy brother. He opera, spoke different languages. He was a hitman.
Mm-hmm.
He was a hitman. Anyway, Quincy Robinson was talking to Lee Kaga, who was a colleague, and Chester Campbell. They're on the yard, right in the corner where 12 block, and across from the auditorium, where the door you go up for the school. They're standing there talking. Benji walked up to Quincy Robinson while he's talking to Chester Campbell and colleague. I was standing right there, I was talking to him too. And he hauled off and slapped Quincy Robinson. It's hardly ever seen anybody get slapped.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he's going to be a fight. He's going to throw down. Quincy ran to the sub hall, his control center, and locked himself up for protection.
What?
Yeah. And that embarrassed us, because, these Chester Campbell, when you do the research, you understand why he's embarrassed. He's notorious. He's so notorious that he don't even talk to people. I was one of the few people he talked to, me, Khalif, and Ronald Jordan. The only reason he talked to me because Ronald Jordan was like head law, man. Chester, the idea how deep Chester was, he never had a lawyer. He represented himself. In all those murder cases, and he represented himself. He got found not guilty. They found him guilty of a pistol, but then they found a hit list, and Brooks Patterson was prosecuted in Oakland County time, and his name was on the list. So he was going to get it because the names already crossed off on the list, and Brooks' name was coming up. So Brooks Patterson made his mind to pass the supplement law, and he supplemented his sentence for just carrying concealed weapons. Back then, 3.5 years for concealed weapon. So they gave him 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, he ran and locked up. Quincy made him do that. And that Benji didn't give himself that name. There's a basketball player called World Be Free. And he had changed his name to World Be Free.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I played with him on the game.
He calls it All World.
Yeah.
And
I think it was
everybody loved
point
him
guard.
so much that they started calling Benji All World. And World for short.
I mean, what was so...
Charisma.
Oh, it was
He
charisma?
was a little guy. No, that was a real little guy.
Benji?
Little,
Damn, they talk about him like he's 6'7".
Man, Benji ain't no more than about 5'8". Don't weigh no more than about 150 pounds.
Wow.
But he had that kind of charisma, and he was dead serious. You can wear your own clothes, be sharp as you want to. That man wore prison blues every day. He didn't give a damn about how he looked. He wore that skull cap, the prison and the blues the prison gave him, and worked them knives.
Oh, okay. That's why God's fear. I read something where he was the leader of the non-Christians. Everybody that was non-Christian or something.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
The only thing I do know is that it's like he was leader of everybody young. Everybody young. I mean, even though he wasn't affiliated, he wasn't the Moor, he wasn't the Muslim. he was associated with the Sackett boys though, and we called. I was also associated with the Sackett boys, but one reason they called the Sackett boys was there's an author named Lewis Lamore, and he wrote cowboy books about these brothers called the Sackets, and they was our code. And when you're in a hole, we all read these Sackett books, so they started calling it the Sackett boys, and it stuck.
Now you mentioned the riot, right? After the whole little situation with the Moors and the other gangsters coming out and y'all solving the problem and politicking. So this riot, what was it about? What was it over?
Okay.
And where was it at?
It was in Central Complex, Jackson Prison, behind the walls. A female had got killed and raped in the auditorium by herself. But that was because a captain was trying to have sex with her. She's married, and so she didn't want to have sex. So he was mad. Her being a rookie, he put her in the auditorium, a big auditorium all by herself. And the outcome was inevitable. Everybody knew the outcome would be she in there by herself like that. She was murdered and raped. They found her body murdered and raped.
I think I heard of that.
So in retaliation, they killed, I think his name was Oscar Rouse. I think that's his name. They killed him. And all the guards who killed him got promotions. So the guards were saying that it was too dangerous for them, so they were gonna have a strike. They were gonna strike. But it was illegal for them to strike. So it was called a wildcat strike. So they chose the Memorial Day weekend to decide they're gonna strike. So the word got out that they're gonna leave us locked in on Memorial Day weekend. That means we were gonna visit Memorial Day, and visit the whole Memorial Day weekend. We're gonna lock down cells. So we really wasn't going for that. But anyway, they tried to strike anyway. They walked out. But when if anybody been in such a complex, they tell you, even when during count time, it'd be hundreds of inmates out their cells. Skating, they call it skating. When you take count in the gym, take count in the child hall, take count in the school, take count in the chapel. There's a lot of places you could say, have a reason that you was there to keep from being in your cell. They don't want to be in their cell out there. You try to be out the cell as much as possible. So it's like about 200-300 people out skating when they walked out. So they did it just for lunch. So we're in our cells waiting on them to let us out to eat. And the guys is out just walking around the yard skating. They waiting on them to open the chow hall up so they can come into the chow hall. But we don't know at this time that they done left. So the word was that the National Guards were going to come in and feed us in our cells and all that. But we're like, well, there's still a lot of guys out there. What are you going to do about those guys? And they can't open their cells individually without we coming out. So one guard, he seen, I guess he didn't know about the strike or something. I don't know. But somehow he got caught inside the prison where all the other guards were going.
Mm-hmm.
So the inmates was going after him.
This is beautiful wife walking past. We just gonna edit it out, or y'all might see her. Y'all gonna be like, he the man. It don't matter.
Anyway, he seen the inmates coming after him. So to get away, he took his keys. He threw his keys at the inmates and ran toward the sub hall. No.
Wait, so he threw his keys?
Threw his keys.
Oh my God.
So they got the keys and went to let everybody out. And that's the beginning of the riot.
So what type of stuff going on during the riot during those times? Was like they burning stuff up? Was they beating people up?
All the snitches was getting stabbed. All the homosexuals that were feminine homosexuals were being raped. Most of them was being raped for hours. 5, one in each hand, in the butt, in the mouth, all at the same time for hours and hours and hours. I heard they won lawsuits and won millions of dollars for that.
Wow, what?
Now they had broke into the chow hall, got some food out the chow hall, raw food, got some racks out the chow hall, wandered by the factories, got some cedar blocks and some charcoal, and started barbecuing, right?
During the riot?
Yeah, they were barbecuing. They broke into the store. The store had everything in back then: televisions, tape players, food, gym shoes, clothes, everything was in there. They broke into the store, stole everything. stealing everything. Matter of fact, they still couldn't. So much in the store couldn't even steal everything.
Was you nervous yourself? A little bit.
I was bad because I was still locked up. I missed the first day. And then they made a number. You can keep all the stuff you got. Just go back to your cells. I'm looking at all these guys coming in. They was out skating with all this. They got wheelbarrows full of stuff. I'm like, wow, man. But I was like, we gonna be locked down. They ain't gonna get a chance. Get us out the very next day. And we was out there on the yard. Hey man, I ain't gonna miss out. So they started again. They broke into the store. There's an inmate named Robert Treadwell. I was trying to stop everybody from breaking into the store. Hey, get out the way, Robert. You know, I love Robert, but come on, Robert, get out the way. They broke into the store, and then I got me a bunch of stuff. They made the same announcement. It started raining real hard. They made the same announcement again. If you turn, go on back to your cell, you keep everything you got. So we went back to our cell, but that time, they kept us locked down. We locked down for about 90 days.
Hey, was this the same riot that Bush Jones was talking? I don't know if you ever read the YBI book, but was like the Bush Jones from the YBI, was this the riot he was talking about?
I doubt that. Because the riot was in 81. Bush Jones, I think, was still on the street, maybe.
Yeah, he might have still been on the streets.
Yeah. But I think YBI really didn't fall to like the middle 80s. That 84, 83, somewhere around there. That's when the YBI stuff. But no, the riot was Memorial Day, actually the Friday before Memorial Day in 81. Okay.
So you first went to prison in 77?
77.
Right. So did they have quarantine then?
That 7 block was quarantined at that time.
Where was 7 block at?
Inside Southern Michigan Jackson prison.
Would you say Jackson is the most notorious prison ever?
At that time.
At that time?
At that time, it'd be like about 3,000 inmates on the yard at one time. It's averaging about 6 stabbings every day.
It's 6?
6. Some days it'd be more, some days it'd be a little less, but at medium average, 6 stabbings every day.
Did y'all have cameras and stuff up or anything?
Cameras, I mean, cameras, but it was like sub hall with no cameras on the outside and nothing like that. No.
Wow. What?
So, and they had like you ain't got no family looking out for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of reasons guys want people stabbed. They pay $100 for you to stab them, and you stab them, get your $100.
Wow. And get right away with it, huh?
Right, it's easy. 3,000 people in the yard, you just get in the crowd, bam. Like you say, at first people used to be screaming, oh, because they're friends with the guy that got stabbed. They'd be, oh man, oh he did some coward stabbed my friend in the back. Oh, that was such a coward move to stab him in the back. And then the OGs, I look up and say, hey, really, the back is best place to stab somebody, because when you stab them, the only thing they can do is arch their back. They can't fight back, arch their back, trying to get away from all the sharp, because it be sharp, sticking, trying to get away from all the sharp. And then so many people, you just disappear. By the time they turn around and get back, they can't tell who stabbed them. They're surrounded by, then you're in the middle of a crowd, shoulder to shoulder like crowd. So it's easy to get away with stabbing. So the administration decided they want to try to do something about it. So they came with this thing that if you get stabbed and don't tell who stabbed you, they put you in PC.
Oh.
For 6 months. It's your TV. Peace. They got a rap partner. Because I remember Pussycat telling his rap partner, you better get you one of these bitches that will, up in here, you got life.
Wait, he told him that?
Yeah, he told him that. You better get you a sister up in here, you got life. Yeah, we ain't never going home.
What?
But Pussycat was such a notorious pimp. I was behind the walls from 77 to 81. And the whole time I was locked up, Pussycat got a visit every Invention Day. He had 5 hoes. And the 5 hoes just bring Pussycat money every Invention Day. They did that for years while I was there. I seen it with my own eyes. I was mesmerized by it.
Oh, he was pimping for real then out there.
I was mesmerized by how you locked up now.
Where did Pussycat come from? Was that a street name or he got in jail?
I don't know. No, he's when I met Pussycat, we was in quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And he introduced himself to me as Pussycat. And I'm like, oh, you gonna go in there and say your name Pussycat? Yeah, why not? That's my name. And as you know, he carried that name. Pussycat was Pussycat.
Did he speak like a pimp and all fly? And...
Yeah, he do. Yes, he does.
Wow.
He tell me on. And then there's another thing, like other guys from Saginaw had Pussycat stories about how he was on the street, you know, like.
Oh, so he was official.
Yeah, he was official. Yeah, how he riding down the street, he had one of his hoes tied to the hood, it's kind of like an ornament.
Oh my God.
Everybody from Saginaw told that story. He got pulled over here. He told me about this himself. He got pulled over and charged with what was it? I forgot what it was. They had charged for it though.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, Pussycat.
I think it's
that was 77. He went to quarantine in 77, and as far as I know, he's still in there.
Is he a Moorish American, or did he ever join?
Last time I saw Pussycat was in 81.
81. Cause I know I get Pussycat New York confused. One of them Williams Bay. I forget which one it is that I met.
Okay.
But I think New York was the cocky when I met.
I don't think Pussycat ever was the mom.
Oh, okay, good. Cause I heard people saying he was. I'm like, oh shit.
If it was late in life, you know. But like we old now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He might have became a more later than like. I can't say for sure.
That's crazy. What was the craziest thing you can say you saw? What was the craziest thing you saw?
Okay, the craziest thing I saw, I was in the Dunes.
What's the Dunes?
It's a correctional facility in Succotash, Michigan. It used to be like a missionary school for nuns or something like that, but they turned it into a prison. Well, I was in the Dunes, doing time in the Dunes, and I was in charge, I was the clerk or the special activities director. So I actually had my hands on everything, the newspaper, everything. So, and also at the time I was a clerk for the food technology instructor. So I did that so I could eat what I wanted to eat, you know, good food. I cooked right down there myself, lobster, steaks, whatever I wanted. So there's a laundry room right down the end of the hall just before you get to the food technology room. And I was walking toward the room and I heard somebody crying. Now, it's a guy, we call his name is Mighty Joe Young. A lot of people know him. A lot of people know him. He came from Central Complex to the Dunes. He spent a lot of time inside the walls, weightlifter. Called him Mighty Joe Young. This brother was about 6'8" and weighed at least 320. 340, all solid muscle. And he was the laundry clerk. He was the laundry man. So I was walking down the hall, this particular part of the prison is in the basement. I was walking down the hall, going toward the room, and I heard some crying. Like, what the crying was, so I slowly eased up, and I looked in the laundry room, and Mighty Joe Young had a white boy choking him, had it up in the air, pinned against the wall and was sucking his thing. I stopped, I could not believe what I saw. Cause everybody was like, you know, we talking 6'8", 340 pound muscles, work out with the weights all day. Everybody kind of stay out the way. But so I knew that I need some witnesses. So I eased back to the activity room where they got the ping pong tables, no pool table, ping pong table, television. I told the guy, hey, y'all, come here. So I took about 5 guys with me, and we tipped down the hall, and we peeped in the room, let them all see. We said, oh, look at you. He put the boy, oh, no, it ain't what you think, it ain't what you think. No, man. And so he got mad, tried to get, oh, you better not. And that's when I found out he was scared of knives. Because he's big. I'll pull my knife out, because I think he's ready to do something. I'm going to make him leak it. You know, but he stopped after I found he was scared of knives. And from then on, he was under our thumb.
Name Mighty Joe Young.
Mighty Joe Young.
6'8", 6'7", 8?
6'8", all muscles. I seen another crazy thing is crying shame. That's another homosexual female wannabe, and Crying Shane was 6'5", and his boyfriend was about 5'2", and his boyfriend would walk around. They walk around together. His boyfriend would carry a milk crate, them plastic milk crates, and so his boyfriend walked around with this plastic milk crate and hold the hand of this giant. This giant next to him, and whenever he get mad, he'd set the milk crate on the ground. Anybody been there? Tell him, I'm not lying. He'd set the milk crate on the ground, stand on the milk crate and tell him, hold your head down. This big guy will hold his head down so he can slap him. What? Crying Shane. That's what we call him, Crying Shane. They had another guy that was homosexual. He was a young guy. He came in there. His name was, we called him 6'9", because he was actually 6'9". And he wanted to be a girl. He came in young, wanted to be a basketball player, strong, young man. Changed his mind, decided he wanted to be a girl. And that was some strange things. It seemed like at that time, all the biggest guys was gay. And they wanted to be female. They wanted to be what they call catchers, And that was during the time they had a sick culture that if you're doing it just because you're in prison and you're giving, not receiving, then you're not gay. So I didn't like the concept, so I came up with this concept. Like I said, anytime, if you wonder what gay is, let me tell you what gay is. Anytime two people of the same sex do anything, get involved in any type of activity that causes any one of them to become aroused in any kind of way or reach some type of climax, then you've been involved in a homosexual act and you're gay. I'm not saying nothing wrong with it, but that's what you are. So you can't tell me that you can have sex with men while you're in prison, then when you get out of prison, you're not gay anymore. That's not the truth. I believe that's where a lot of download stuff come from. That same attitude. No. They're just men trying to hide the fact that they can't live themselves being gay, so they're trying to hide the fact that they're gay.
What up, though, Detroit? So, you already know the deal. Just giving a shout out to Petty Tupac TV. Like, comment, subscribe. You already know the deal. We have to support everybody's businesses, and you already know how it goes. We support each other. You know what I'm saying? Make Detroit win.